Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So obviously you can tell by the title of this video and the thumbnail, you guys know that we got some seats. So what I want to do in this video is actually unbox them. I haven't even seen them yet. I want to show you guys exactly what I got, go over the details and everything, and obviously let you know why I chose what I chose. And also we got some stuff going on over here as well. This is kind of a big mod, something that I was wanting to do, but I wasn't expecting to do it so soon. But we got them here, so let's go ahead, unbox them, and check them out. All right guys, here we go. Pretty simple unboxing. Comes in one box, which is really nice. These are the Recaro ABE pole positions in real Napa leather with the, I don't even know how to say it. I think it's Pepita or Pepita, I'm not even sure. But basically the houndstooth inserts. So I got some explaining to do as to why I chose this pattern and this seat. So let's start getting into the details of it and explain the differences between the different versions and all that. Ultimately, why I chose these. These are the Recaro ABE pole positions. You guys are probably familiar with pole positions. They've been around a very, very long time. It's kind of the end game seat. These seats are in so many different cars. It's one of the best seats, in my opinion, out there, at least the best full bucket seats. These are great for street, they're great for track, they're great for pretty much anything. Pole positions are seats that I honestly have been wanting for so long. I remember my E46 days, I wanted a set of these so bad. I loved the way they looked. I love the way they fit. These seats just scream track, they scream motorsport, club sport. Everything about them is my absolute favorite in a racing seat. So let's talk about the differences between the ABE and the FIA. The FIA are the full track bred pole position. Those are the ones that you guys are probably most familiar with. Those are the ones that have been around the longest. But recently, maybe a couple years ago, they came out with the ABE edition. Basically, they made it a street trackable version. The FIA versions have a little bit higher side bolster here, whereas the ABE is a little bit lower, which is better to getting in and out of the car for a daily driver, a street car. Also, if you notice on the back here, or sorry, on the bottom here, they bump out a little bit. So they actually can fit a little bit larger waist, and obviously they can fit a 3-point OEM stock seatbelt without any issues. And the FIE version, it just goes straight up. So they're a little bit more uncomfortable for daily, street use. So the ABE version is much more comfortable. As you can see, kind of the bow out, the bend out there. FIA versions, they're pretty darn tight. If you ever sat in them, you guys will know that they're much higher bolstering and they can fit around a 34-inch waist at most. Anything bigger than that is a tight squeeze. These actually fit up to, I think, like a 36 or even a 38, I believe. So it's much more comfortable for daily use, much more room to be able to drive this on the street and not be uncomfortable. Again, it allows you to get in and out of the car much easier with the lower bolster. And also on the side here, you can actually see the little straps for the OEM seatbelt receptacles. So these bend out, as I mentioned, so you can actually fit the OEM stock seatbelt, the 3-point harness, if you will, which is really nice. Also, I believe the harness straps up here are a little bit higher than the pole positions. So if you are a little bit taller and you want to run pole positions, these are a little bit better, since I think these are a little bit higher. I think I read that somewhere. So I am super happy with these. Very awesome looking seat. Super comfortable. Obviously, I sat in them real quick. But on the back here, you can tell it's just the basic black. These are the fiberglass versions. You can get these in carbon, but it was pretty rough. To get the carbon backs, it was an extra $3,000. These seats are pretty darn expensive to begin with. Each seat is about $2,000. So we're looking at $4,000 worth of seats plus another $3,000. That's pretty darn expensive for some Recaro pole positions. I do think they look really nice, but I don't think it's worth another $3,000 for the carbon backs. It does look cool though. So the pole positions actually come in quite a few different variants in terms of material, in terms of looks, patterns, whatever. These are very interchangeable, so you can basically get whatever you want. But from Recaro, you get some really nice, cool options. These are factory from Recaro, brand new. You can buy them exactly like this. So as you see, I chose the Pepita, the houndstooth version. It is such a nice material. It's super soft. I like cloth and Alcantara and suede interior and seats better than leather. To be honest, I would love to have these in Alcantara. You can get them in Alcantara, but they are very, very expensive. But I prefer cloth seats overall. They're a little bit more comfortable in my opinion. They don't get as worn easily as leather does. I hate the wrinkling and the shininess that you can get from leather. I do very much stay on top of my interior and anything that I do have leather, but it's just kind of, in my opinion, harder to maintain. It doesn't look as good over time. So having a cloth insert like this is really nice. I was looking at the full Napa version with the suede inserts as well, but I just kind of wanted to go a little bit crazy, for me at least, and go with these. Now, the really cool thing about pole positions is it's sort of like a Lego. If you get tired of this look, the inserts here are completely interchangeable. You can actually pull these out. These are just Velcroed in, get them rewrapped, buy a different insert from Recaro, whatever you want to do. You can get some Alcantara centers, you can do red, you can do whatever you want, which is really nice. So if I ever got tired of this look or I didn't like it, I could simply just go out and get them wrapped or get some different inserts, which is really nice. So why did I choose this? Now, my car is pretty, I don't want to say boring, but it's pretty common. Mineral gray is probably one of the more popular colors on the F80 M3 or 3 Series in general, on the F Series. And I have black interior. I have black wheels, some carbon on there, so it's pretty bland. It's nothing crazy. One of my main combos that I love on BMWs and cars in general is either a subtle exterior with a really bright interior, or vice versa, a really bright interior with a subtle exterior. So I don't have either of those. So what I wanted to do is kind of spice it up a little bit, give the interior a little bit of personality, and also give it some character and kind of show you guys who I am as a person. If you guys know me, you guys know that I'm a really big Porsche fanatic. The houndstooth, this type of material, this pattern is very, very prominent in old air-cooled Porsches and old 911s. People bring this pattern into newer Porsches, even BMWs now and everything. So it's a great, great mix between what I love, which is Porsches and BMWs and motorsports. So for me, bringing this into my car is gonna liven it up a little bit, give a little personality to the car, and also kind of show you who I am as a person. I absolutely love them. As I mentioned, the overall softness of this is really nice. Also in the newer versions, which these are the ABE versions, the foam and the comfort level is much higher in these than the FIA version. So there's a little bit more cushion than these, which is really nice. They have a little bit more foam, I believe, or a different type of foam. I forget what it is. So that's really nice. It's going to be perfect for daily driving and just kind of what I use this car for. So don't get me wrong, the stock seats in the F80 are fantastic. I really do enjoy them. I think they're great. Honestly, for a stock seat, it is really nice. But for me, I do like to sit quite a bit lower in my cars. I like to be at the pedals as opposed to on top of them. Thankfully in the F80, they actually corrected that from previous generations. E9X generations, you felt like you were on top of the car. The seating position was terrible. So a lot of people go with Recaros or some aftermarket seats, and it's much better. But the stock seats are terrible in E9X generation. F80 did correct it a little bit. You do get to sit a little bit lower, but unfortunately I wanted to sit a little bit lower, and these were the answer for me. So I decided to pick them up. I wasn't gonna do it this year, or wasn't gonna do it at least at this point, but I was like, you know what? I really wanna do it. I wanna enjoy this car to the fullest. And I also got MPAC around the corner up in the Poconos that I'm going to. So I really wanna get the car how I want it, with the seats in it and everything, and just enjoy it as much as I can. So a lot of you are probably wondering, how come I didn't go with the AMX Performance Recaro Sportsters? Good question. Well, I did look into it. As you guys know, those are the seats that I actually do want, and I do still plan on getting them in the future. But the version that I want, the pattern that I want, kind of everything that I want, all the add-ons and everything, it was going to be over $8,000 for 2 seats, just the front seats. And eventually I would like to match the rear seat with the AMX Performance pattern and everything that I choose to do. So going with the AMX Performance was a bit of a stretch. I do love spending money on my car, don't get me wrong, but that's a lot of cheddar, no question about it. And these, again, they're not cheap, but it was a better alternative, at least for this point, so I can get some seats in the car so I can enjoy it, see if I truly like sitting a bit lower in this car. And then, if I'm like, hey, this is worth it, and then I'll jump over to the Recaros or the Sportsters and we'll go that route. But for now, I think this is the best route to go. It's gonna give me that feeling that I'm looking for, that little bit lower driving position, and it's just gonna look amazing in there. If we take a quick seat, sorry, kind of a bad angle, but if we take a quick seat in these, super, super comfortable. As you can see, I got some room on either side. I'm about a 32, 33 inch waist, and there is plenty of room over here. The FIA versions, these things are jammed up against your leg, and your feet are pretty much like this, your legs. You can't really move too much, which is perfect for the track. But for daily driving, this is really nice. You got plenty of room. Sorry, my shirt's in the way. You got plenty of room on either side. Seatbelt receptacle goes in this little loop here. And then on this side, when you buckle it in, you actually put the buckle through the loop and into the receptacle here, so the buckle's not jabbing you in the hip or anything like that. But man, I know you guys can't see me, but super comfortable, and I really, really like the position in these. They actually have a bit of lumbar support down here, which is nice, because I have a very kind of high arched back. So I was kind of nervous about that, but sitting in this right now, I can definitely feel the comfort in the lumbar back here. Really nice. I'm actually happy with that. I was kind of a little bit nervous about that. You actually even see a little bit of a lumbar here, kind of dips in at the top and bumps out, which is really nice, super comfortable. So I'm looking forward to getting these in the car. I actually picked these up from my buddy over in California. He goes by the name of Skyline CX. He has a ton of different seating options, wheel solutions. So if you guys are looking for a really good deal, some really nice high quality parts for your car, for your BMW, for whatever car, be sure to hit him up on Instagram. Also awesome dude, got into me super quick, awesome pricing, very, very informative, and he was very communicative as well. So I highly recommend him if you're looking for it. I'll put his Instagram in the description below so you can hit him up if you're looking for something like this or any other seat or wheel for that matter. He can get you it. Now, as for seat mounts, I was kind of having an internal debate about what route to go. There's so many different options to go with bucket seats. You can go with the side mount, the Recaro option. You can go with floor mounts. There's tons of different options out there. But for me, I like simplicity. I like something that you can just simply bolt straight onto the seat and it has everything that you need. I don't like getting 15 different brands and kind of Frankensteining it all together. So I was looking at some options, two of which that really intrigued me. PCI is one of the first ones that I found, Pro Car Innovations. They actually have a mount, slider, and side plates as well, all together in one kit, which is really nice. Unfortunately, they're out of stock for about 4 to 5 weeks or so. So I started looking at some other options. I was kind of trying to reach out to them, seeing if they had anything. I was even looking for them used, and I couldn't find them. And then I came across the Rationale ones. If you guys are familiar with that brand, they make spacers. They make a bunch of different things. I've used their stuff in the past. I'm an E46. And actually, in my research, I've realized that the Rationale ones are the exact same ones as PCI. PCI actually makes them for a couple different companies, and then like Rationale and a few others, they just rebrand them as their own. So it's exactly the same one as PCI. I believe they use different hardware overall. Still great hardware, but PCI I believe is a little bit better in terms of the hardware. But it's the exact same seat, just a different batch. So I was actually looking for the Rationale ones. Unfortunately, they're out of stock, of course, for another couple weeks. But thankfully, I actually came across a guy on the forum. He was selling a pretty much brand new set. He had him in the car for like 5 minutes and realized it's not going to work with his situation that he's got going on in his F80. So he put him up for sale on the forums for a pretty darn good discount. Really hard to resist. They're normally, I think, $325 each, plus shipping and everything. You're looking at around almost $700. I got them pretty much brand new for $500 shipped, which I think is a pretty good deal. So roughly $250 each, $100 off or so. So pretty good deal, I think. And obviously for how much I spent on these, I think it's a really nice savings. So all in all, we're looking at about like $4,500 or so for a setup like this, which seems pretty crazy, but considering the Amex Performance ones that I was gonna get, which were $8,000, literally half the cost of it, not too bad. So yes, these stock seats are indeed leaving the car. Well, I'm not selling them, I'm keeping them. They are very, very nice, but they are going to be out of the car. Now for the seatbelts, obviously gonna be using those. I'm using the same stock seatbelts, but obviously you can tell, airbags, no airbags. So there's a solution to that. Now, obviously, if I was driving the car every single day as my daily driver, I wouldn't be doing this solution. I would be going the AMX Performance or Recaro Sportsters in general with the airbags. But since I don't drive this car every single day, it's not my daily, it's not something that I, am cruising around in all the time, it's not as big of a concern. Obviously, removing an airbag, it's up to you if you want to do that. I did that in a lot of previous cars and I've had no issues and everything. So it's up to you if you want to do that. But what you can actually do with these cars is really nice, is actually you can code out the warnings. Basically, it's just taking the lights off, the warnings off of having no airbags, but everything still functions normally. So with my STI, I actually used a little jumper circuit to be able to keep the light off and the airbags working. So on the STI, it was a little bit sketchy. With the BMW, it's a little bit easier since you can simply just code them out and everything still works, which is really nice and pretty simple. So I'm going to be doing that. There's a couple different companies, different places to do that. I may go up to Auto Couture. They may do it for me. We will see. But there's, like I said, there's a lot of different companies that can do it for you remotely. They can do it right in the garage if they want. And you can do it that way. But really, really excited about getting these in the car. I still have to wait for the mounts to come. I just wanted to unbox them, show you guys them. Obviously, me personally sitting them, I haven't even tried them out yet. I've sat in these seats before, not these specific ones, so I knew they were very, very nice. But it's really cool to have these sitting in the garage next to my Dream M3. So over here as well, we got a new front lip. So also new splitters, as you can tell. If you guys remember in a previous video updating you of all the modifications I have coming in for the F80, I mentioned this one, this splitter is yellowing a little bit from the sun, just the clear coat, the gel coat that's on there, just from, you know, the UV rays. It tends to happen over time. This is a factory OEM and performance one too. So you guys know in the E9X generation, the carbon roofs, same exact thing. It can happen. So instead of trying to correct that and fix that, I said, you know what? I'm just going to get a new set of splitters. And then one thing led to another, and I got another lip. So these splitters and the lip are both from Horizon Motorsports. Very, very nice, full carbon, and it's going to look really good. It's going to get rid of that yellow. Obviously, I'm going to ceramic coat them and everything. But the lip, I wasn't expecting, because I really do like the lip on here. This is the CS style. It's a CS replica, if you guys know. I've been running this for quite some time. This is by Auto Technic. Really, really nice, high quality lip. But as time went on and everything, I wanted to try something different. And I really, really like the GT4 style lip that you can run on the E9X generation. They also have a GT4 style on the F80 generation as well. But this is actually a J style lip. So what I really like about it is that it's one kind of even line across. Whereas the CS style over here, as you can tell, it bumps in the middle and then comes back out. So it's kind of like splitters on the E46 generation, even the E9X generation. Very, very similar. That's kind of what it reminded me of. But I like this even lip all the way across. It still has the kind of ducts that the CS style has here, so you still get that airflow and everything. But it's got the lip, and then it's got kind of another lip on front of it or underneath as well, which is nice. I really like the style. I really like the amount of carbon up front here. I think it's gonna look really good. Should be interesting because I am fairly low and I've gotten so used to driving with this one, and this one I believe is a little bit higher in terms of the actual height and the thickness of it. So I'm not sure how long this one's gonna last. But the one thing about this one, the Auto Technic is full carbon. This one is indeed not. If we look on the bottom, this is like a fiberglass with some carbon laid on top, which, to be honest, I really don't mind having something so low to the ground. You know, not as expensive as that one. That one's an $800 lip. I have scraped it before. Not too bad, but I've scraped it, not gonna lie. But having something a little less expensive, that's something not as crazy, that if I did damage this one, it's not the end of the world. So kind of having two different options to be able to kind of switch it up and maybe sell one if I like one better than the other. I don't know, I'm not sure yet. I don't plan on it, but we're gonna be installing the splitters and the lip in a different video, kind of showing you that process and kind of the new front end look. But I think it's gonna look really, really good because I do like the style, but sometimes it's nice to change it up. And as I mentioned, we got MPAC coming up, so we got some seats, we got a kind of a new front end look. I also got something really cool over here that I will show you guys. So as you can see here, B39, that is the mineral gray paint code. Interesting enough, I was looking for a solution. If you guys know, underneath the hood here, the little battery positive terminal cover is red. Can't stand it. I have nothing red on the car. And I was looking for some solutions to see if anybody sold them, maybe just in black or something. But my buddy Lucas, you guys probably know him, Dubsessed. He has the beautiful Atlantis F80, probably, well, definitely the best looking F80 in the history of F80s. This is absolutely perfect. He actually reached out to me. He was like, hey man, I painted mine Atlantis blue. And I was like, oh cool, did you have I&D to do it? Or, you know, how'd you get it done? And he was like, actually, there's a company called Scratches Happen. Kind of see it in there. And they actually have spray cans, or, you know, you can get touch-up paint as well to whatever color you want. You just give them your paint code and they match it, and it'll be perfect. So it actually comes in, you get a two-stage solution. So you get the paint, the color, and then you get a clear coat as well. You also get some gloves and stuff and some directions and all that. But I figured that'd be a cool little option to have that paint matched. Very, very small detail, but for me, it matters. It's gonna get rid of the red And it's not just gonna be a plain black, it's gonna match the mineral gray and look really nice, especially with the Mishimoto charge cooler in there and everything. So really, really happy with that. Still got a few other things coming as well. I know it seems crazy, but I love this stuff and I'm looking forward to showing you guys all. I also got some stored parts over here for my buddy's G80. We're still waiting for a few things to come in as well. So we're gonna be doing a full makeover on his car as well, a few things. So exciting stuff. Love working on cars, love working on M3s, and we got some pretty amazingly cool stuff going on here. So just wanted to update you guys. I know you guys want to see these installed, and trust me, so do I, but I was that excited. I wanted to make a dedicated video showing them off, explaining all the details, why I chose them, why I didn't go with others, kind of give you a glimpse into some future videos and everything. And yeah, I'm just super excited of the next stage of this car and where I'm taking it. And I love it right now, but we are taking it to the next level. And I'm really looking forward to bringing this car to the next step. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all about the seats, the lip, or anything else on the car, please let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.